it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to another edition of Then and Now, also known as The History Of. And today we're looking at Springsteen, Mr. Bruce Springsteen, the boss. I've been a huge fan of Bruce Springsteen. To me, he's my Bob Dylan. I think I was talking to some friends a little while ago when they're a little bit older than me, and they said they've got Dylan, we've got Springsteen. So I've been a big fan of Springsteen for many a year now. So let's have a look at his first and most current album and the bits in between. So Bruce Frederick Joseph Springsteen is his full name. Born 23rd of September 1949. Released 22 albums. Many feature the E Street Band, of course. Originally from the Jersey Shore. Some great music along the line. His shows last forever. I've never seen him. It's one person I have never seen, but I love his music. So let's have a look then. His first album, released 5th of January 1973. Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Produced by Mike Appel and Drim Kratos. Done on Columbia Records. And we got Bruce Springsteen on lead vocals, acoustic guitars, hand claps, Clarence Clements on the saxophone as ever, Vinny Lopez on drums, Dave Sanchez on piano, Gary Talent on the bass guitar, got Richard Davis on the double bass, and Harold Wheeler on piano on a couple of tracks. Okay, this album opens up with a classic, straight in, Blinded by the Light. I do like Clarence's work on this. It's a great track. I love that track to death. Growing Up. It's just something about these songs. This is just basic rock music. Nothing's flash. Some piano, some guitar. Great little track. I just love the piano on this. It is really, really good. Mary Queen of Arkansas. Again, I love the story. Every Bruce Springsteen has got a story. Love this. The harmonica's great. It's a lovely song. Really like that one. Then we have Does the Bus Stop at 82nd Street? Another story of something that must have happened to Bruce. I love this track. It's so I don't know how to put it. It's just so lovely to listen to these under the headphones, and you can. It tells a story, as I said. It tells the story, and you can picture it in your mind. It's pretty cool. Lost in the Flood, my favourite track off this. Love the story to this. It's a great record. Great vocal from Bruce. Sounds really good even at this young age. Then we get The Angel. Oh, it's a lovely song. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. Can't think of any other song on this album that really makes you want to sit down and chill. Then we get For You, another good song. Another great lyric. Spirit in the Night, love this. Love Clem's sax on it. Absolutely brilliant. And the last track, It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City. Great stuff. The story's great. The musicians are great. Absolutely belting. Okay, I love this album. I just love playing this album to death. He gets played quite a lot. It's a Sunday morning album for me. And you just know that this, when you listen to it, you go, this was going to be a guy that was going to become a superstar. Okay, how did it do? US Billboard, it reached number 60. Now, it was not released in this country till 1985. I'm tongue-tied today. It came out in the wake of the Born in the U.S.A. tour, arriving in Britain. It remained in the top 100 for 10 weeks, and it got to number 40. Pretty good, even though it was released 12 years later. Okay, this is in 1973, reviewing for the Rolling Stone. Here we go. This is Lester Bangs. Hails Springsteen as a daring new artist who sets himself apart from his contemporaries with songwriting that is either seriously meaning or showcase its uninhibited gift for verbose, overloaded lyrics, rhyme schemes that can mean something socially or otherwise. Bangs said as well, there's plenty of them that don't even pretend to, revealing the joy in utter crash of show-off talent, run amok and totally out of control. Good bits and bad bits. Rolling Stone, I don't know why they bother sometimes. They don't have to write some dribble. Pete Nobler wrote in Crawdaddy, he sings with freshness and urgency. I haven't heard since I rocked like a Rolling Stone, you see. Referring to Mr. Dylan. Cream's magazine said that Springsteen's songs are dominated by the kind and mannered emotion, transparency, and that made Bob Dylan a genius. See, he's been compared. In the Music Guide to Rock in 2002, William Ruhlman gave Greetings from New York a 5 stars and said that it claimed that mid-1960s folk rock of Bob Dylan, accessible melodies. Asbury Park painted a portrait of teenagers cocksures on themselves. Absolute Punk gave it 4 stars. All Music 5 stars. Chicago Tribune 2 and a bit. Don't know where they were coming from. Christian Ghost Record Guide gave it a B+. Cream gave it a B. Encyclopedia of Popular Music gave it 4 stars. Music Hound gave it 2.5, which was about Cruel. Q 3. Rolling Stone 3. Tom Hull on the Web a B. So what can we take from this? Okay, song quality. Absolutely stonking songs. There's not a bad song on there at all. They're lovely words. He really does write some great lyrics. So I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 5. Production. It's pretty good production. It's crisp. Sometimes I think that some of the harmonica levels are not right. It's something they sorted out eventually. So for production, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Reception. It was gone down well, and it's still a firm favourite with people today. I don't care what Rolling Stone say. They always seem to, I don't know if they do it on purpose, I really don't. But for reception, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. So today, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, scores 14 out of 15. Very high marks, because it is just purely a great album. So, we're going to get into the time machine now and move on a massive 48 years. It's a long time. To the 20th and most current album, although he has released 22, there are some compilations in that. Letter to You, released on October 2020. It's the first time he'd worked with the E Street Band since 2014. Obviously we haven't got Clarence with us anymore because he sadly passed, but the rest of the band is that classic lineup of E Street Band with Bruce. We've got Roy Bitton on the piano, Niels Lofgren guitar, Mrs. Springsteen, Patti Shafat on vocals, Gary Talent on the bass, Steve Van Zandt on guitar, the incredible Max Weinberg on the drums, Charles Gordino on the organ, and doing the saxophone on this is a certain Jake Clemens. So here we go then. 1 minute, here's the first track. Even after these 48 years, he still comes up with the goods here. His voice has changed, yes, he's got older, but because he's a fantastic musician and so are the band, they just alter everything around so it still sounds good, and it does. That's a great song, great stuff. Title track, Letter to You. It's a nice little rocker. I just think he's come round in a circle and evolved into this phenomenal songwriter that when you listen to that, it pulls on your strings. Burning Train, good as ever. The sax by Jake Clemens is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. He's a good player of the old sax. I just wonder if it's got anything to do with who his father is, but there you go. Then we get Janie Needs a Shooter, solid track, great little rock track sort of thing. It's really good. I love that track. Last Man Standing, wonderful story to this, wonderful song. Again, Jake's on the ball on the sax. The Power of Prayer, wonderful, wonderful song. Again, it's just, you know it's Bruce, you know it's the E Street Band. That's all you need to hear. Oh, here we go. House of 1,000 Guitars, brilliant again. That solid Bruce Springsteen sound that we all love. Rainmaker, some wonderful backing vocals here from Patti. They sound great together. I think Bruce and Patti, they play each off of them wonderful. It's a fantastic track. If I Was the Priest, this, you wouldn't be a Bruce Springsteen album without the piano sort of track on its own. It is superb. Ghosts, my favourite track on this. Killer drums from Max, sends shivers down your spine. The harmonica is just mind-blowing. It's a fantastic track again. I'll See You in My Dreams, strong track to end the album. I love this song. It really goes with a nice pace, absolutely belting. This is one of my favourite Bruce Springsteen albums. Even after all these years, it's a killer album. When it come out, I just played it and played it. I just thought it was the best thing he'd done in years, and it's just great. The music, the band are as tight as ever. Bruce sounds great, even though, as we've said, our voices change over the years. They've just adapted everything, so it makes it a great album. That's what I think, or what everyone thought of it. That UK charts got to number 11. In the United States, in the Billboard, number 18. So it's fans loved it. And Letter to You received universal acclaim from reviews. Alex McLeavy of the AV Club gave the album a rating, calling it one of the finest achievements of Bruce Springsteen's career. For songwriting, it's writing profound look at loss and the fact that listeners can hold up nearly any track of its overall scope. Corey Grow of Rolling Stone awarded this 4 out of 5. Good grief. And saying Springsteen's deep ability to express his emotions in self-therapy of the lyrics sums up the music as the sound of Springsteen, accepting that for himself. Richard Williams of Uncut devotes a lengthy review to Letter You, saying that the contents of Springsteen's career as milestones release with the band and their relationship with the audience, particularly their ability to interpret American culture and history. Even Mojo came in and said, comparing this to several of the albums also over his career, that the musicship of the album is good and over mob. Start again, Iain. He said that the musicship keeps the album from being overly sentimental, and I know what he's saying because at the time Bon Jovi brought out their album, and that it's all that, it was all about COVID. There's songs here about COVID, but they're different. They're not dour, they're not depressing. These are giving hope. Bruce Springsteen gives you hope, and I think the Bon Jovi one sends you into oblivion. So the AllMusic gave it 4 stars, AV Club gave it 5 stars, the Clash magazine gave it 8 out of 10, Consequence of Sound gave it a B+, the Daily Telegraph 5, Independent 5, Music OMH 4, NME 5, Pitchfork 7.4, Rolling Stone 4. Now if they like it, it must be good. So what do we look at the nuts and bolts of this one? Song quality, as ever, brilliant. Great songs of hope, 5 out of 5. Production, well produced. They just sound as good as ever. So I'm going to give it a 5 again, 5 out of 5. And reception, it went down a storm. I loved it. People I know that love Springsteen said it was a brilliant album, and it is the best album for a little while. So I'm going to give it a 5. So full house today, 15 out of 15 for an absolutely belting album. But where would it sit in a full album ranking? Well, you know how to do that now. You just asked me to do it. So I think everyone might have a rough idea where this sits, but it may shock you where it sits. Okay, let's have a look at the rest of Bruce's studio albums. Okay, coming in at 1973 again, he released The Wild, The Innocent and the E Street Shuffle. The first song on here is the E Street Shuffle, of course. Then we have the lovely 4th of July. Kitty's Back, love this track. Clem is brilliant on this, lovely sax. Then we get Wild Billy's Circus Story. It's just one of them little story songs from Bruce. Superb stuff. The Incident on the 57th Street, another classic from Bruce, great track. Rosalita, Come On Out the Night, another of those great tracks from him. Love that one. And New York City Serenade ends the album. 75, we got Born to Run. Opens up with a brilliant Thunder Road. Love the harmonica on this. 10th Avenue Freeze Out, another classic from Bruce. Then we get Nights, Backstreets, then the classic Born to Run. Bum, 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 bum. Great opening to that track. And one of my favourite songs by Bruce, She's the One. I just love that piano at the beginning. Meeting Across the River, pretty cool track. Then we get Jungle Land, got one of my favourite sax solos by Clem. Absolutely brilliant. Then 1978, we go to the Darkness on the Edge of Town. The classic Badlands is on this, of course. Adam Raised on Cain, another good track. Something in the Night, Candy's Rune. Then the brilliant Racing in the Street. Love that track to death. The Promised Land, another great track. Factory. Then we get the Streets of Fire. One of the great guitar solos on there. Absolutely brilliant. Prove It All Night. The title track, Darkness on the Edge of Town. One of them great tracks. Eerie vocal from Bruce telling a wonderful story. And you get some great drumming from Max on this. Absolutely top draw. 1980. One of the best double albums that ever come out in my book. The River. It's got The Ties That Bind. Excellent track. Sherry Darling, another good track. Jackson Cage, Right Rocker. Great stuff from Bruce. Two Hearts, one of my favourite tracks off this album. Independence Day, Hungry Heart, classic. Out in the Street, Crush on You, You Can Look But Better Not Touch, I Want to Marry You. The Beautiful River, the harmonica on this is perfect. Point Blank, great sort of stuff. Then one of my favourite tracks, Cadillac Ranch. Love the boogie of it. And what makes this better, that Quo did a version of this as well. Took a great song and give it justice. I'm a Rocker, pretty cool. Fade Away, the wonderful Stolen Car. Wonder if that's about something that happened to him. Then we get Ramrod, nice rock and roll, nice saxophone, great track. The Price You Pay, Drive All Night, pretty good, of course, and Wreck on the Highway. Great album. Then we get 1982's Nebraska. This is that one where he did him all his demos tracks, and he originally was going to do it with the E Street Band, but decided to release it as it is. It's just Bruce and a guitar, and what an album. Nebraska, Atlantic City, these are all good tracks. Mansion on the Hill, Johnny 99, my favourite track. I just love the story behind it. Highway Patrolman, another good track. State Trooper. This is for an acoustic song, it's quite rocky. Love that track. Used Cars, Open All Night, My Father's House. What a moving song that is. Really nice words, and Reason to Believe. Okay, 1984. It was the big breakthrough over here in UK. Born in the USA. The iconic Born in the USA. Cover Me's a great track. Darlington County, really good. Love the riff on the Working on the Highway. Great riff that is. Downbound Train, another cool track. The beautiful I'm on Fire. No Surrender, Bobby Jean, I'm Going Down's a good track. Glory Days, it's alright. Dancing in the Dark, I must be the only person that doesn't really like that song. My Hometown, my favourite track on this. This is, doesn't matter where your hometown is, when you listen to this it makes you think of your hometown. I mean, I'm lucky to live in my hometown, and when I listen to this it makes me feel proud that I am what we are. And I'm an old-fashioned Northamptonian, and this does give me a bit of buzz when I listen to that track. 1987 then, we have the Tunnel of Love. It's got some of the members of the East Street Band, but most of the parts were done by him with some synthesizers and drums. What was he thinking? Ain't Got Used, pretty cool, I like that. Tougher Than the Rest, pretty cool track. All That Heaven Will Allow, Spare Parts, I love the acoustic and harmonica. Cautious Man, Walk Like a Man, Tunnel of Love is pretty cool. Two Faces, then we get Brilliant Disguise, I just love the melody on that one. 1 Step Up, When You're Alone, Valentine's Day, Bit of a country song, but very, very pleasant. 1992, we had them 2 albums released on the same day. Human Touch, great track. Soul Driver. Then the brilliant 57 Channels and Nothing On. Just love that bass line driving through the song. Cross My Heart, Glorious Eyes, Rocket. Love that one. Love the riff in that. With Every Wish, pretty cool song. Roll of the Dice, one of them typical Bruce songs. Hear the first notes, you know it's Bruce. The Real World, All or Nothing at All, Man's Job, and I Wish I Was Blind. Very, very sad song, I think. But I do like it. The Long Goodbye, Real Man and Pony Boy. I love that track. It's just typical one of them Bruce stories that you really get into. Also on the same day, he released in 1992 Lucky Town. It's got Better Days on this. Love that track. Great opening one. Lucky Town, another good track. Local Hero. If I Should Fall Behind, it's okay. Leap of Faith, another good song. The Big Muddy, pretty cool. Living Proof and Book of Dreams are good. Souls of the Departed, fantastic song, and the My Beautiful Reward. 1995, we get another acoustic album, The Ghost of Tom Joad. Opens up with The Ghost of Tom Joad. Love that. It's a beautiful little song. Straight Time, Highway 29. Another of them great stories, songs from Bruce. Absolutely fantastic. Youngstown's cool. The Sinola Cowboys, one of my favourite songs on this album. Love the cowboy songs. The Line, Balboa Park, Dry Lightning, The New Timer. These are all good songs. All Across the Border, Galveston Bay. My Best Was Never Good Enough. Love the story behind that. 2002 then, we get The Rising. First album he'd done with the E Street Band in 18 years. Opens up with Lonesome Day and Into the Fire. Pretty good tracks. Waiting for a Sunny Day. Great song from all the guys in the E Street Band. Bruce's vocals are on fire on that. Nothing Man, Counting on a Miracle. Empty Sky, Worlds Apart. Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin. Further on Up the Road, nice little catchy number there, one of my favourites. The Fuse, Mary's Place, You're Missing, The Rising, great track. One of his great tracks from the later years, fantastic. Paradise and My City of Ruins. 2005, a sort of acoustic-y style album, Devils and Dust. Opens up with a pretty cool track called Devils and Dust. Then All the Way Home, an acoustic rock track, pretty heavy for an acoustic song, but pretty good. Reno, Long Time Coming. Again, another song about cowboys. Maria's Bed, very unplugged, as I could put in my notes. Great track. The Silver Palermo, very good. Jesus was an Only Son, quite a moving song. Leah, very good. The Hitter, good track. All I'm thinking about, a real country song, very good track. And Mattress Banks, pretty good. And we come to 2006. It was the We Shall Overcome, the Seeger sessions. I don't like this album at all. I don't know why. I never can get into this. It's got Old Dan Tucker, Jesse James, Mrs McGrath, Oh Mary, Don't You Weep, John Henry, Erie Canal, Jacob's Ladder, My Oklahoma Home, Eyes on the Prize, She Know What, Pay Me Money Down, and We Shall Overcome. I just couldn't get into that album. I do have it, but I can't remember the last time I played it. 2007 then, we get Magic. Again, it was the first time he'd worked with the E Street Band since The Rising in 2002. Opens up with a fantastic Radio Nowhere. It's just a great track. You'll Be Coming Down's pretty cool. Living in the Future. Love the sax on that from Clem. Your Own Worst Enemy, Gypsy Biker, Girls in Summer Clothes. This is a great song. The acoustic guitar on this and the strings really make this a great song. I'll Work for Your Love's cool. Magic's pretty good as well. Last to Die, excellent track. Long Walk Home, lovely that. And Devil's Arcade, wonderful. 2009, Working on a Dream. First track, Outlaw Pete, love this. Absolutely wonderful track, one of my favourite tracks by Bruce. I love the story behind it, it's wonderful. Great stuff. My Lucky Day's cool. Working on a Dream, pretty good. Queen of the Supermarket, little quirky number. Tells a little story as usual. What Love Can Do. The riffs in that are brilliant. And the acoustic sounds great and compliments on that one. This Life and Good Eye. Tomorrow Never Knows. But it sounds like a skiffle song on this. Life Itself, Kingdom a Day, Surprise Surprise, that last carnival. Then we get The Wrestler, which is a lovely song. 2012, Wrecking Ball, another good album. We Take Care of Our Own, one of the heaviest tracks I think that Bruce has ever recorded. Good track. Easy Money, pretty good. Shackled Down, Shackled and Drawn's good. Jack of All Trades, very pleasant song, very gentle. Death to My Hometown's pretty sad words, but it's reflection. This Depression, one of the fantastic songs on this album with a great solo. Wrecking Ball's good, solid track. You've Got It, another good track. Rocky Ground, Land of Hope and Dreams, and We're Alive, brilliant. High Hopes, 2014 then. High Hopes is a really good track. Harry's Place, love the guitar effects on that. American Skin, 41 Shots. Love this track, but this track is so much better live. It's got so much atmosphere. Just Like Firewood, pretty good. Down in the Hole's good. Heaven's Wall, Frankie Fell in Love, This Is Your Sword, good songs. Hunter of the Invisible, pretty cool. And then you get the Ghost of Tom Joad, which is a electric version, and I love both versions of this. It doesn't matter if it's that acoustic one from the album or this version. This is a great version, and I think this is a little bit better with the electrics. The Wall's pretty good, and Dream Baby Dream is pretty good. 2019 then, we had Western Stars, Hitchhiking's good. The Wayfarer, another cowboy with horns and Mexican feel. Tucson Train's good. Western Stars, another classic cowboy sort of song. Sleepy Joe's Cafe's good. Drive Fast, The Stuntman's alright. Chasing Wild Horses, solid. Sundown, Somewhere North of Nashville's a little short thing, pretty good. Stones, There Goes My Miracles, okay. Hello Sunshine, and ends up with Moonlight Motel. Great set of albums. I like at least 3 or 4 tracks on every album. There's some I prefer to others, like on most of albums, but he hasn't put out a bad album. But if you want to know what order that I would put them in, just put a comment in the bottom and I will do you a full ranking. Okay, that's all on this one. We've got the album artwork. It's another one for Quo fans. We're going to look at some of my top 20 favourite single covers. There's no bad ones in this. It's all ones I like. And then at 8 o'clock tonight I'll be on a live stream just telling you what's going on, what's been going on and what we're doing next week. So that's all for now. I will see you later. Take care.